Do your students complain that learning Canadian history or politics is a bit boring? Well, stay tuned to this video and I'll show you how to create Canadian Prime Minister bingo cards just like this, and you'll be able to do it in less than a minute. What I've done here is compiled a list of the Canadian Prime Ministers. Copy that list. This is on easybingocreator.com. This was on the blog. So I copied the list, click Make Your Own Word Bingo Cards. This brings up easybingocreator.com. Simply get rid of the sample words in there. We're going to paste that comma separated list of names that we have here. And over here we now have the 24 Canadian Prime Ministers. So Canadian Prime Ministers bingo. Okay, there we go. It's done like that. Canada at this point in February 2026 has had 24 prime ministers. So with the free space, you could do a 5x5 grid. That would work for that. If you wanted, you could also make a 4x4 grid. Obviously with a 4x4 grid, only 16 of the 24 will show up here, so not everyone will be up here. What you can do is, let's say you're doing this for your classroom, you're teaching, Canadian history in high school or even in college. Change the number of cards that you need. So let's say that there's 24 kids in your class, and there we have 24 Canadian Prime Minister bingo cards ready to go. We'll click Download PDF. Here we go. So here we have our 24 different bingo cards featuring the Canadian Prime Ministers. At the end of the PDF is going to be the calling cards. So you would cut these out along the dotted lines there, shuffle them, and then start calling them out. So if you had John Diefenbaker, you call it out to the class. If they have John Diefenbaker on one of their bingo cards, so they have to kind of scan through all the names, it gets them used to and familiar with seeing some of the names. You can do it that way. One other thing that I've provided to make it a little bit more interesting on the suggestion of my daughter was, instead of just calling out the names, how about you call out a piece of trivia instead? So I'm going to go back to the website, to the actual blog part of it where I got the list. I'm going to scroll down. And here I created a bit of a trivia bingo. So you can open up this open up this PDF, print this off, and then instead of calling out, say, John A. Macdonald, you would call out Canada's first Prime Minister. Then, if the students had John A. Macdonald on their bingo card, well, first they'd have to know that John A. Macdonald was the first Canadian Prime Minister, and if they have him on the bingo card, they'd cross him off. I don't see it on this one at first glance. And you could go through all these. So cut along the dotted lines here. All these little thin ribbons of paper, you can shuffle them out and start calling it. For instance, instead of saying William Lyon Mackenzie King, you could say Canada's longest serving Prime Minister, who incredible 21 years in total, even though that was split over 3 different terms. And he led Canada during World War II, for instance. You could call that out. Bit of trivia here. Instead of saying Joe Clark, you would say the youngest person to ever become Prime Minister, who was only 39 years old at the time. And you could do it that way. So there's 2 options of doing it. You could do it with your calling cards at the back of the PDF, or if you want, especially for older students, you could cut out these and do a bit of trivia bingo. So I hope you guys have fun creating your bingo cards at easybingocreator.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope your students, friends, or family enjoy playing Canadian Prime Minister bingo.